do quite a bit of philanthropic work. You're on the board of DonorsChoose.org. This is a nonprofit that helps individual teachers raise money for their projects. Why is education such a strong passion for you?
You know, I guess it was ingrained in me. Well, I guess at birth, not that I remember back that far, but for as far back as I can remember from my parents, right? So, you know, my parents and I, and then later my younger sister was born here, emigrated to the United States from Indonesia when I was a young child. And my family is ethnic Chinese, and at the time when we left, there was a lot of, there was political regime change, and the ethnic Chinese minority was being targeted. In fact, I was born with a different last name, not Gao. We didn't go back to my Chinese family name till we emigrated to the U.S.
Oh, interesting.
And the immigration officer was like, "Is that real? You know, you can go back to your family name if you want."
What was the name that wasn't
because we needed to
family name?
assimilate, right? So it was an Indonesian name. Chinese names are usually one syllable, right? Indonesian names are multisyllabic. So it was actually Marcono.
Oh, really?
And then we changed back. And then and my family was so my father is one of six. All six siblings and my grandfather had passed, all chose different Indonesian last names because they didn't necessarily want it to be traced back as one family. Anyway, but I digress.
What a story.
So the story about that is, so my parents, you know, they're big believers in education. They didn't, I don't think they even knew what it was then, but essentially the American dream, right? They were like, look, we are going to start over. My father was a dentist, my mother was a nurse. Came here, my dad was a dishwasher and my mom was a hostess in my uncle's Chinese restaurant. It was the only job they could get. But it was all so that me and my sister could go to school, work hard, get the best education possible. And in America, if you did those things, then you could do whatever you wanted, right? Of course, later I found out it came with some caveats. If you major in the right things, it will actually give you a job. But I actually,
but it's a great,
but I thank my dad for that now.
It helps level the playing field.
It helps level it. So look, I just feel like I am, you know, I am a product of education, of public education here. And that's why I think what Charles Best and Donors Choose is doing is so fantastic, because public school teachers spend hundreds of millions of dollars every year of their own money. And I know this because through Donors Choose, we helped raise about $100 million a year for school projects so that teachers don't have to take that money out of their pocket to buy everything from, you know, pencils. Charles bought newspapers for his high school history class, to some of the things that are really heartbreaking to, you know, teachers post on there. There was a teacher here in East Palo Alto who wanted to buy sleeping bags for their students because 30% of their class was homeless, and thought that the sleeping bags would really help them stay warm in the winter months.
That is gut-wrenching.
It is.